Hey there, this is Maria from English Without Fear. Today I'm going to tell you about 5 things I like about where I live. So sit back, relax, listen, and watch just to understand what's going on, what I'm talking about. English Without Fear, where you can learn to speak English naturally through listening to stories. I live in western North Carolina, and as you can see from the map, there are lots of hills here in western North Carolina. So the first thing I like about living here are the hills. I like seeing them from my house. I like seeing them from the car when I drive anywhere. The hills are all around and they are beautiful. On Saturdays, when the weather is good, and we have time, my husband and we like to hike in the hills. The hills are beautiful and the exercise is good and we feel healthy and refreshed. The second thing I like about where I live is the weather, what we call the climate. We live fairly high up, so it is cool in the summer. We have 4 seasons: summer, fall, winter, and spring. The fall is a lovely time of year because all the trees have leaves that change color, so it is beautiful. And in the winter, we don't get much snow, so that's not too bad. And then when spring comes, seeing the trees get green again, I love it. The third thing I like about living here is the wildlife. We have bears, we have lots of birds, we have turkeys. What else do we have? We have an interesting animal called a possum. Possums look like they are dead, but they are not when you pass them by. That is their protection, to look dead. In English we say, oh, that person's playing possum. They're not moving. We also have lots of squirrel, and sometimes we see a fox. I love the animals here. The fourth thing I like about living here is the culture. We live outside of a little town, the town of Waynesville, and during the year there are only about 10,000 people who live in Waynesville. Yes, in the summer, tourists come up from Florida because it's cooler. But the town is small, and I like getting to know the type of people who live in a small town. A lot of families go back many generations, and to talk to them, their stories are interesting. The fifth thing I like about living here has to do with the size of the town. I told you that only about 10,000 people live here, so there is less traffic. Not a whole lot of cars, and I like that. When I go visit family and friends, they tend to live near cities, and there is a lot of traffic, and you have to wait in the car because of the traffic. But here, because we live outside of a small town, there are not many cars, and everything is slower. People don't rush. So there you have it. 5 things I like about living here in Western North Carolina. Well, what about you? Do you like where you live? I hope you do. Tell me 1 or 2 things you like about where you live. Leave me a comment underneath this video. Talk to you next time. Thanks for watching. For questions or comments, here's my email: